Pinot Noir can only grow in certain regions. We are fortunate, we're in the Russian River Valley and we have great Pinot Noirs. Right now, we're going through harvest, so it's a great time for me to talk about Pinot Noir. It's almost like I'm going through the steps as I speak. So the fruit is picked at night, which is the best time to pick fruit. It comes nice and cold to the winery. Then we have people at the sorting tables. They're selecting the best clusters that are gonna go into our fermenters. With Pinot Noir, you have a very delicate varietal, so you don't wanna over-extract tannins. But let's remember that all the beauty in reds, it's in the skins. So we wanna keep it in contact, and we want to try to extract color and flavors but not harsh tannins. So what we do with Pinot Noir is when it arrives, we put all the fruit in your tank. In our case, we have jacketed tanks, so we can run really cold glycol that will stop any fermentation from happening. And then you have your skins, so the skins are soaking in this juice and they're releasing the color, but you don't have any alcohol yet. So you won't be actually extracting harsh tannins. So we get a way through cold soaking to extract the beauty of the color and flavors in Pinot Noir into the juice without having any tannins. That cold soak, they will last about 4 days. At the 4th day, we disconnect and we let temperature go up, and then we will inoculate with the yeast. The yeast will be in charge of fermenting all the sugars, transforming the sugar into alcohol. It will generate some CO2 as well, and also some heat. So we need to keep the jackets on so we control the temperature of that fermentation. Then throughout the process of the fermentation, it will last about 10 days. During that time, I'm tasting every single day. We are checking the sugar level, we're taking flavors in consideration, we're also checking at the temperature of the fermentation, making sure everything is going smoothly. With that information and the tasting, I set up the Punchdown regime. So we're gonna start very lightly. Then at the peak mid-fermentation, we're gonna actually punch down a little more, and towards the end, I will decide if we continue punching down very lightly or if we stop completely. I'm trying to avoid any harsh tannins to get dissolved into the wine at this point. After it's completed, when we say it's dry because there's no sugar anymore. So we will pull samples, take them to the lab, and the lab will run analysis and will let me know there's no more sugar. So when I get that number, I will plan the pressing plan for my team. We're gonna remove all the wine at this point. We're gonna drain it into another tank, and we're gonna remove all the skins from inside the tank, and we're gonna place it into our basket press, a very gentle press, very commonly used in Pinot Noir winemaking. We will press it. I will decide the free run, then you have the light press, and the hard press. For us, it's extremely important to get this one right. We don't want anything harsh going into our main wines. So I'll make the cut when I start tasting some hard tannins. That's when I stop. We keep that portion separate, and we're not gonna use it for our wines. Only the free run wine and the lightly pressed wine will go into our Russian River valleys. After doing that, it will settle. So there's a lot of solids in a new freshly pressed wine. So we're gonna let it settle for at least a day, and then the following day we're gonna use gravity. Yes, gravity, we love gravity. We don't like pumps too much in this case. So we're gonna put our tanks into an elevator, raise that tank up, and we're gonna lay down all of our barrels. And then with hoses, we're gonna start filling all the barrels. After we do that, we inoculate with malolactic bacteria, which is gonna go through the malolactic fermentation, secondary fermentation, soften that palate in the wine, and then aging for anywhere between 10 to 14 months, depending on the label. So we will continue tasting every single month to make sure those wines are getting only better.